What's going on, y'all? Joseph DiPietro here. This is going to be lesson 1 for your 10-minute leadership talks. The lesson is going to be about expectations. If you haven't already, make sure you read the description in the channel. That'll give you a little bit of background information, as well as watch video number 1, which is going to be an introduction to what we're doing here, just so you got an idea of what's going on. So, expectations. I like starting with expectations when we're talking about leadership because it sort of sets the ground rules for everything that's going to follow. In the military, a lot of commanders will use something called command guidance, and other folks might lay out rules of the road or a set of standards that they expect their employees or their team members to follow. So this is the same concept. I like to call it expectations because to me that's the bare minimum that I expect from either my Marines, my players, whatever it might be when I'm responsible for an organization or a team. These are my 3 expectations that I lay out for every team that I've been responsible for. They might shift a little bit with the base message, but the actual expectations have remained the same, and I tend to use those moving forward as well. I've had pretty good success with these. So the first one, and most important in my mind, is what I like to say is being perfect. Now, nobody's perfect. Everyone's going to make mistakes, but if you give 100% effort at all times, to me, then you're being perfect. If you're doing everything that you can for your teammates on your left and your right, and they're doing everything they can for you, then I consider that being perfect. I have to caveat that with as long as it's morally justified, right? So don't go out and be a criminal and say, hey, I'm giving 100% effort at being a criminal. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you're a part of a team, you're part of an organization, and you give maximum effort, then that's all anyone can ever ask of you, okay? So if you're doing that, in my mind, you're being perfect, and you're gonna help that team build and grow. You're gonna make mistakes constantly. I make mistakes every day of my life, but I make sure that I learn from those mistakes so that I don't do them again, and I can help teach either my subordinates or my peers about those mistakes that I made so that can better the organization or better the unit. So that's expectation number 1 is being perfect, and that's just giving maximum effort at all times. Expectation number 2 is ownership. I sometimes substitute this with accountability, but for the most part, what it means is taking ownership of your actions and making sure that you do all the things that you say you're gonna do, and that the people on your left and right can trust that when you speak, when you act, that it's yourself, it's 100% of that effort that we talked about with being perfect, and that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. If you say something, if you do something, make sure you follow through, all right? Ownership is incredibly important because this leads to trust, and if you don't have trust within an organization, then that organization is not gonna succeed. You have to be able to trust each other. If you're a worker in the unit, then you have to be able to trust the leadership of that unit, and if you're the leadership, then you have to be able to trust the workers that they're gonna do what they need to do in order for that group to be successful. The third point is gonna be fitness. Now, fitness is extremely overarching. There's multiple types of fitness. When someone says fitness, you typically think of physical fitness, and while that is extremely important, there are different types of fitness out there. So there's physical fitness, spiritual fitness, mental or emotional fitness, and all of those things kind of combine into what I call overall fitness, or just fitness for the purpose of being simple. Part of that is also going to be family lifestyle. I'm going to rope that into fitness too, so all that kind of goes in together, but building a good, healthy family lifestyle is going to be very important. We're going to talk about that in follow-on videos. So why fitness is an expectation for me is that if you aren't fit in your family, in your physical ability, in your spiritual wellness, or in your mental and emotional capacity, then you're not going to succeed later on. So one of my expectations for all of my subordinates, team members, Marines, whatever it might be, is that they maintain that fitness. It is so important because if you don't have that ground level of fitness and the next levels of technical proficiency, job availability, whatever it might be, they're not going to come because you still are on that low level of fitness. But if you can establish that level of fitness early on within that group or within that team, then you're going to succeed even more in the future. So those are my 3 expectations. The sort of 4th one talked about a little bit that I sometimes bring into play is that family lifestyle. And that's just something that's really important to me because any team or any organization is only going to be as strong as its weakest link. And that weakest link is only going to be as strong at work as they are at home. I can't tell you how many times I've seen really good workers or individuals be suffering at home, and then that carries over into the workplace. So if they're having marital issues, if they're having parental issues, if they're having financial issues, those things are going to carry on. And we're going to talk about that in probably the next video when I talk about my leadership hierarchy. So keep that in mind. That would be number 4, would be that family lifestyle. But I sort of wrote that into fitness here. Those are my 3 expectations. I think that's a good ground base level for everyone moving forward, so you kind of understand where I'm coming from for the follow-on videos. And make sure you're always striving to do these 3 things, right? Give maximum effort, do what you say you're going to do, and be honest and trustworthy, and then maintain all levels of fitness as much as possible at all times. Thank you very much. Have a great day.